أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
All right. To that American Muslim convert who is thinking about leaving the religion of Islam. So, the title of this video will be American Muslim Convert Before You Leave Being Muslim. So, there is a distinction between leaving being a Muslim and leaving Islam. So, I'm going to go with the title of American Muslim Convert Before You Leave Being a Muslim. There is a distinction between Islam and being a Muslim. So, if you are an American Muslim convert and you are at that edge, on that ledge, at that spot, thinking about leaving being a Muslim, try this one last thing if you can. If you still have it in you to say, all right, I'll try it. And if not, that's fine too. So if you can, trace back your convert journey all the way back to that spot right before you began down that slippery slope of cultural assimilation. So that spot right before you started blending culture with Islam. That spot right before you were changing who you were as an American. And those changes are very subtle and very small. And many times they go unnoticed. And when they are noticed, since they're subtle and small, you think, it's not that big of a deal. But what happens is this snowball effect. One change, not that big of a deal. Then another, and then another, and then another. And then it rolls down that hill like a snowball. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then, a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later, you created someone you do not recognize. And no one wants to be someone who they don't recognize. Makes sense. And you connect that someone who you created to being a Muslim. And all I'm saying is, if you can, trace back your convert journey to that spot right before you began down that slippery slope of cultural assimilation. And this time, stay you. No matter how difficult it gets, stay you. Now, does that mean that year or 5 years or 10 years or 20 years that you put into being a Muslim goes to the wayside? No. That becomes wisdom. So, peace and love.